This is big. This is big for a lot of people, a lot of fans, a lot of entities. Jim Harbaugh's going to the NFL and heading to LA to be the head coach of the Chargers. Let's count down winners and losers. We start off with winners. The biggest winner, the Chargers. I mean, this is an organization that has never won a Super Bowl. This is a team that for years has been considered really talented but underachieving. Really, the stigma of the franchise is can't get over the hump. They collapse. They fold when it matters most. Always have the star talent, never have the DNA to win. This changes because Jim Harbaugh is a proven winner. The Chargers, the biggest winner, obviously, in this thing. Number two, Harbaugh's a winner. This is a guy that if he's going to leave college football, lands in a pretty nice spot. He ends up going to a franchise with some veteran talent, with a dynamic franchise quarterback. I mean, how many of the openings, the vacancies in this offseason have a quarterback as talented as Herbert? You don't walk into a place and have a guy in his prime ready to explode as long as you can coach him properly. The Chargers have that. So Harbaugh's got Herbert ready to go to that next level. He also has veterans on offense. We'll see how many they bring back, but wide receivers like Keenan Allen, like Mike Williams, running backs like Austin Eckler, Derwin James has been a fantastic safety for a number of years. There's talent on this roster. They had Khalil Mack on this squad. Harbaugh walks into a team that should be able to compete right away for the playoffs. Hey, they were in the playoffs after 2022. They just collapsed against the Jaguars. This is a team with the right coaching that can immediately get into January. Number three, big winner, the NFL. I mean, as though this league needed any other headlines, as though the NFL needed anything else to kind of draw major attention to it, now it adds the biggest name in college football aside from Nick Saban into the NFL bloodstream, into the second largest market in the NFL, into a gleaming new stadium with a franchise QB. I mean, the Chargers with Harbaugh and Herbert automatically become Sunday Night Football. Whatever network it's on, the Chargers will be must-see television. Must-see television. And the NFL just keeps collecting the paycheck from this. The guy just won the Natty, and now he slides into a massive market that can win right away. Hey, the NFL just keeps collecting dubs. The final winner in all of this, Ohio State. You know, the Buckeyes had ownership over the Michigan Wolverines for how long? And finally, Harbaugh and Michigan able to break through. And the last 3 years, they've beaten Ohio State every single year. And Michigan has surpassed the Buckeyes for college football supremacy, for Big Ten supremacy, for getting to the playoff and now winning a national championship. The Buckeyes immediately have the monster of Harbaugh pushed out of the way. Hey, that's a win in Columbus. All right, time now for losers of Harbaugh going to the Chargers. Number one, obviously it's Michigan. You got to give Harbaugh this. Even if he rubbed people the wrong way, even if the NCAA was snooping around, even if the Big Ten suspended him for the final 3 games of the regular season, Harbaugh won. Harbaugh got it done. Harbaugh got over the Ohio State hurdle and finally closed the deal to win a national championship. He got this program to where he wanted and where he promised when he took over the job. Now he's gone. Sure, the Wolverines will replace him with somebody very talented. I'm sure somebody that they're very happy with publicly. But ultimately, you can't really replace Harbaugh. Harbaugh is a guy that won in college before Michigan, won in the NFL before Michigan, and just delivered a national championship. There is no replicating that for the Michigan Wolverines. They're the biggest loser in all of this. The next biggest loser is college football. In the same offseason, college football loses both Saban and Harbaugh. Their 2 biggest stars aside from Deion Sanders, but at least we have evidence that Harbaugh and Saban are competing for championships, winning championships, and going to the playoff. We don't know if that's going to happen in Colorado yet, although certainly arrows seem to be pointed up in Boulder. But for college football, who's unveiling the 12-team playoff come next season sure is gonna miss Harbaugh roaming the sidelines, making things weird, making things interesting. Who's got it better than us? Nobody! I mean, look, Harbaugh was a character of the highest proportion, and college football loves its characters. They lose a big one. Maybe the biggest. The old Bo Schembechler hat, the Woody Hayes glasses, Sharpie around your neck, the khakis. We just need to do more push-ups and drink more milk and sleep more hours, and then we can be able to beat our opponent. I mean, only Harbaugh does that. Another set of losers? Haters on the Bolts. Hey, it's easy. I do it all the time. To rag on the Chargers every single season. Lots of talent, they always collapse. How will they fold this year? Whether it was Anthony Lynn in recent years or Brandon Staley, both of those guys proved to be completely overwhelmed by what the significance or the sophistication of the job entailed. You don't have somebody to kick around anymore. This is a Chargers organization that forever, I mean, you could go back to the Dan Fauci years. Oh, yeah. You pat him on the head. Sure. You guys are really talented. I'm sure we'll see you in the Super Bowl. This year's different. Well, all those jokes, all those punchlines, they're going to be dumped into the water at Santa Monica. I mean, this is a Chargers team now that has real expectations, and I think they're realistic. And I think the Chargers right away can be contenders. Maybe not a Super Bowl in the AFC where you have the Chiefs and the Ravens and the Bengals, maybe the Bills all lined up you're trying to get through. But can this team get to the postseason next year? Yep. Can they win playoff games? Yep. Harbaugh has proven in all of his stops he's been able to win in relatively quickly. And in the NFL, year number 1 in San Francisco, he took the 49ers to 13-3 and the NFC Championship game. He's gonna win in LA. It's just a matter of time. And the final loser is, speaking of LA, the Crosstown Rams, the same stadium Rams. Look, the Rams have a Super Bowl championship on their shelf over the last couple of seasons, and they right now have been a franchise that has gotten most of the notoriety in that city. They came back to LA after years away, and the Chargers were playing in a soccer stadium. And so the Chargers have always felt like second-class citizens at SoFi Stadium in LA in general. The Rams have benefited off of that. You add a Vince Lombardi trophy to it, and Sean McVay and Matthew Stafford and Aaron Donald, and the Rams have been the football team in LA that sucked up all the oxygen. But not any longer. Look, this is a good season for the Rams, and just making the playoffs was a pretty big win. But in terms of owning the market, this gives the Chargers some major juice. Hey, you got thoughts on this? The first 20 comments below I will respond to. I want to hear from you guys on Harbaugh to the Chargers. You think this thing works? If you want more videos like this one, subscribe by clicking on this button right here. Hey, thanks so much for watching, everybody. I'm DA, Damon Amendolara. We'll see you next time.